Welcome back to my 2017 Game of the Year bonanza. We've arrived at day 4, meaning the final set of regular awards. Today's categories are Best Style, Best World Design, Best Cast and Best Ending, each featuring 4 nominees and 1 winner, as we build towards the final top 10 Games of the Year list on day 5. Of course, these are all just my own personal opinions, but I'd love to hear what you would have picked in the comments below. Let's get right to business with the awards for day 4. Best Style. Persona 5. As much as it might like to claim otherwise, there's almost nowhere you won't see Persona 5 coming. From the bold black, red and white colour scheme to the swooshing animations of every menu and transition, Persona 5 is about as gloriously in your face as they come. There's no wasted space here. Atlus have packed cool little touches into every nook and cranny, whether it's the splashing of your footsteps behind you as you run, or the way shopkeepers shift seamlessly into silhouetted backgrounds as you transition from conversation into the store interface. The Sexy Brutale. As a complete package, few things feel as cohesive as the Sexy Brutale's jazzy masquerade murder mansion does. The doomed guests all have phenomenal names, a unique mask and musical hook to match their personality and special skills. The various areas of the mansion are gorgeously designed and each have a distinct look and sound, allowing you to instantly recognise where you are when you walk through any given door. The excellent soundtrack is the icing on the cake, each track striking a perfect balance of party-going joviality and ominous foreboding. Splatoon 2. If you want to stay fresh, then these squid teens have got you covered. Building on the fantastic foundations of the first game, Splatoon 2's hairstyles, fashion, music and environments have all continued to develop over time as its Squidverse has further evolved into its own subculture. Searching out the freshest threads and fine-tuning your look to perfectly suit both your battle style and your fashion sense, all the while jamming out to a soundtrack which simultaneously covers a wealth of genres while also remaining undeniably squid punk, is the most compelling it's ever been. Yakuza 0. It wouldn't be a Yakuza game without sharp suits, slick dudes and stunning tattoos galore, but Zero's shift to the late 80s economic boom in Japan mean that there's also an abundance of glitz, glamour and yen flying everywhere across the streets of Kamurocho and Sotenbori. The lavish presentation goes a long way too, with the game making use of several distinct visual styles to suit the mood, as well as injecting an undeniable sense of style into everything from its freeze-frame title cards to the knee slides across a neon-lit disco floor. Damn, it feels good to be Yakuza. There comes a time when you know that a game has transcended even its closest rivals, and seeing people cosplaying Persona 5's UI was that moment in 2017. There's not a single thing in Persona 5 that isn't a treat for the eyes. From the initial slick pans of the title screen onwards, every single aspect of P5's presentation has been honed to a glistening sheen. While it's the angular overlays and flashy menus that steal the show, the actual game is no slouch either. The initial designs of your party members are already fantastic, but then each is given a slick makeover for their heist costumes. The awakening scenes of each person tearing their mask off are cartoonishly gruesome in just the right way, and that devilishly dark edge is present elsewhere as well, such as in the way personas are fused through simultaneous execution. But there's tons of straight up joy here too, with high fives galore during baton passes and the comic strip splash screens awarded for a successful all-out finish. Top it off with the funky basslines of Shoji Meguro's incredible soundtrack, and the result is one of the most stylish experiences I've ever had the pleasure of enjoying.
Right on. What's up, Persona? This effing rocks!
Best World Design.
Oh, great.
Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon's world is a lush, vibrant array of sprawling and varied biomes that hide the dark secrets of history in metallic chambers buried beneath the surface. As well as being gorgeous, there's a genuine sense of awe when you stumble across something new, whether it be spotting a tall strider stomping through the undergrowth, riding up towards the high walls of Meridian, or the first time you descend into the grinding, whirring depths of a cauldron. The mechanical animals which roam the lands are glorious too, finding that perfect balance between mecha design and their naturally occurring counterparts. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild's Hyrule has a very naturalistic feel to its design, yet closer inspection suggests that every hill, tree and rock was as meticulously hand-placed as if one were crafting a Zen garden. Wherever you go, meaningful sightlines stretch out in front of you. Open plains dotted with shrines, towering mountains concealing their secrets, or the ever-looming presence of Hyrule Castle and Calamity Ganon at the centre. The world of Hyrule begs to be explored, whether tempting you directly with obvious points of interest, or teasing you with paths and structures that travel just out of view. Nier Automata. Nier works within a fairly small open world, yet it manages to achieve this feeling of something much bigger. The colours are muted, yet that actually works in its favour. Environments are simple and fairly sparsely populated, but that only serves to focus your attention where the designers want you to look. That simplicity also serves to allow striking changes to the world over the course of the game, perhaps most notably when the detonating angles sets off a huge collapse of part of the map, completely changing its look and feel. There's a beauty to Automata which is hard to put into words, yet it captivated me throughout. Pyre. Your initial journey across the downside takes you through a variety of weird and wonderful places, all brought to life by Supergiant's gorgeous art design. Yet, perhaps even more evocative are the descriptions given to you at every point along your journey. Almost every part of the world has a brief nugget of flavour text available by hovering the mouse over its name. It's an incredibly smart design decision which feels almost like cross-referencing this encyclopedia and lets you get these striking insights as you scratch away at the mysteries of the downside. Given Link's ability to clamber over just about any surface, there wasn't quite so much need to build the world with quite such exacting precision, yet the Breath of the Wild team didn't miss a beat. There's so much care taken to ensuring that wherever you go, there's constantly reasons to be pulling out your map and marking down points of interest. In fact, Breath of the Wild makes perhaps the most natural use of the tower climbing trope in a game yet, by actually having you utilise the height of your position to more easily spot key landmarks. The tantalising ways in which the game hints to you are so masterful, from the way glimpses of orange peer across the landscape to indicate a distant shrine, to the way that each and every Korok puzzle makes you feel like the smartest person in the world for spotting a repeating pattern of stones, or for pushing a boulder down a hill to fly between two conveniently placed trees. Wherever you travel in Breath of the Wild, your adventure never stops feeling like an adventure. That sense of discovery and wonderment never subsides. There's always something new to seek out, somewhere new to travel, someone new to meet. Wrap up warm, Link, we've got work to do. Best Cast. Dream Daddy. The dads of Maple Bay might all appear at first glance to fall into pretty clear categories. Athletic fitness dad, super competitive dad, studious teacher dad. But it doesn't take long for Dream Daddy to start breaking down its stereotypes and peeling back the personality layers. There's intrigue to every single one of your potential suitors, and discovering their secret passions is an absolute joy. The glue at Dream Daddy's centre though is Amanda, and your father-daughter relationship really nails that blend of goofy jokes, gentle ribbing and heartfelt care for one another. Nier Automata. It's tough to pull out a favourite character from Nier Automata because they all feel like essential components to its overall structure, each person with a distinct role to play in telling its story. The way backstories are gradually revealed as the game progresses allows for these moments of dramatic clarity, as a character's motivation suddenly explains their behaviour up to this point. Automata also isn't afraid to lose its characters, killing off many important cast members at key moments in the game, but no death ever feels like it happens without purpose.
You should be proud of the name Eve.
Pyre. As you build your crew in Pyre, it really feels like gathering a motley band of outcasts. It's a real mishmash of different backgrounds and personalities where no one really matches up with anyone else on the team, yet they all come together wonderfully. Pyre's entire narrative hangs on you caring about as many of your team as possible, and it pulls that off with aplomb. Every time you're asked to take a side, there's genuine merit to each option. Watching your group of misfits banter, squabble and cooperate over the course of their journey made me feel somewhat like a proud father. Yakuza 0. The hustle and bustle of Kamurocho and Sotenbori features such a vast wealth of weird and wonderful characters, and getting to meet them all is a delight. Almost every single one of the sub-stories has tons of personality, and side characters such as Pocket Fighter and Mr. Libido all get their own compelling little arc. It's the main story cast who really stand out, however, from the dastardly figures sitting near the top of the Yakuza power structure to the desperate innocence of Makoto, the eccentric wildcard Nishitani, or the well-intentioned mystery behind Tachibana. Even just the core cast of Yakuza 0 is huge, yet every single person is instantly memorable. Right at the start of the game you're introduced to all 3 Dojima lieutenants at once, and you'd be hard pressed to find 3 more compelling antagonists. On the other hand, Sagawa has to carry that entire weight almost by himself over in Sotenbori, but while his personality is a little less of a clear-cut stereotype, he quickly proves to be perhaps an even more despicable love-to-hate-him figure. While there are several returning names, a lot of the best members of Zero's roster are new for this entry. In fact, even many series regulars get to shine in a new light here, most notably Zero's 2 protagonists. Seeing the naive innocence of 20-year-old Kiryu is already a striking contrast, but even that pales in comparison to Majima, who we get to experience from a completely new perspective. It's astonishing that a game with one of the densest character counts around so rarely drops the ball, but there's only a couple of times Yakuza 0's characters don't quite land, versus the dozens of people that I'll remember for many years to come. Best ending. A quick spoiler warning here, I'll be talking in detail about the final sequences of Dream Daddy, Nier Automata, Tekken 7 and Yakuza 0. If you'd rather not have those spoiled, I totally understand and thanks for watching this far. Otherwise, onwards we go. Dream Daddy. After finally settling on your chosen dad, there's one matter left to resolve in Dream Daddy's narrative. Your daughter Amanda's graduation from high school. Bringing everyone together for a surprise celebration makes a wonderful setting to spend one final happy moment with the entire cast and reflect on your time with each of them, whilst also serving as a touching gesture for your daughter as she prepares to move away from home for the first time. The closing conversations with both Amanda and your chosen dad, in my case Damien, are some of the warmest, loveliest game moments I experienced all year. Nier Automata. Automata's closing act is a climactic struggle packed with revelations as A2 and 9S discover the true nature of the Yorha and the backdoor which ensured their war with the machines would continue in perpetuity. The game's very formatting shifts and twists around you as you confront the entity seemingly behind this endless war, defy their expectations to turn the AI's logic inwards on itself, and finally defeat the machines guarding the tower. When all is said and done, 9S and A2 are left standing face to face amongst the rubble, as you are asked to pick a side for one final showdown between them. Tekken 7. Tekken 7's retelling of the Mishima saga is a wonderful trip down memory lane, visiting plenty of iconic moments from the series' history as well as filling in some unknown pieces of information. But there is only one way that such a tale could possibly end. Kazuya and Heihachi staring one another down in the middle of a volcano. The final showdown pulls out all the stops, bringing this ultimate conflict to life in a way that only a series with this much history can do. I'm not sure if it'll truly be the last time these two titans clash, but as a lifelong fan it was an incredible climax to witness. Yakuza 0. With the balance of power almost irrevocably in the hands of the dastardly Tojo clan, both Kiryu and Majima resign themselves to one final push for their respective goals. However, no odds are too great for the Dragon of Dojima and the Mad Dog of Shimano. Yakuza 0's final act is a cathartic romp as both protagonists finally receive their Super Saiyan moments, crashing through hundreds of goons before engaging in climactic showdowns with the remaining antagonists. The tidy up sequences which follow are a little less frantic but no less satisfying to watch play out. Of course, as always with Nier, that aforementioned decision between A2 and 9S isn't where things actually end. After seeing both outcomes play out, either ultimately resulting in the seeming end of Yorha, the credits begin to roll, only to be brought to a sudden halt by pods 042 and 153, your small robotic aids throughout the campaign. Having begun to form a semblance of free will on their own over the course of Automata's events, the pods offer the player with an option to try and preserve the memory data of the 2B, A2 and 9S units. Going along with their plan sees you tackle the very creators of the game as you shatter wave upon wave of credits in an increasingly tough bullet hell, which eventually reaches an almost impossible level of difficulty. After failing multiple times, the game asks whether you wish to continue and whether you think games are silly little things. At the same time, messages of inspiration begin to pop up on the screen which you slowly realise are written by other players. Ultimately, you're offered help by these players, allowing you to blast through the final credits in a climactic moment, the music swelling as every variant of the game's final theme, Weight of the World, comes together, accompanied by a chorus of voices sung by the development team themselves. It's an astonishingly powerful moment. Once you succeed, you're then allowed to write an inspiring message of your own and offered the chance to join the army of helpers, but doing so requires a sacrifice. In order to help another player see through the finale, you must delete your save files, wiping all of your unlocks and progress completely clean across the board. It's an incredibly smart use of game mechanics to mirror the sacrifices of the characters throughout the story, and the ways in which the final combat sequence resembles the opening shot of 2B flying to Earth as the Yorha around her are blasted away one by one is a masterful touch. The fourth wall is something often toyed around with in games, but there's really nothing else quite like Nier Automata's finale.
It is time for the final words.
Affirmative.
To all of you who spent time with this game, thank you. Thank you for playing.
And that overly long ramble wraps up today's awards. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, a like would be greatly appreciated, and be sure to leave any comments, opinions or queries down below as well. We'll be back with another video tomorrow where I'll be running down my 10 favourite games of 2017. I've been Ken, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers!